Joining us now to talk about this, we have former State Representative Donnie Copeland is with us. Donnie.
I wouldn't be surprised. Is there another amendment coming down the pike? I mean, I'm not going to go too far on the neutering analogy, but I mean, it's like, what's left?
Yeah.
It's like you've gutted it. I mean, that's why I tweeted out Charlie Collins' bill now is a blank page.
Yeah. Well, and it was a genius play by the governor.
But that's what he always does.
Yeah, it was genius because he's now tricked everybody into thinking he's pro-Second Amendment. He stood up there, took all that credit. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody FOIA'd the University of Arkansas, that it wasn't the U of A that reached out to the SEC first and said, hey, can you help us out here? We want to make you aware of what's going on. And I bet you it was the U of A that reached out first to start all this. And people, people were worried that they really wouldn't schedule certain sporting events here in Arkansas if this bill passed.
Okay, here's something. I have two thoughts on that. Number one, the NRA, I wonder if they'll come back down here now and hold a press conference to talk about how disappointed they are in the governor. I would contend that this was set up from all along. It wasn't like, oops. I'm telling you, here's why. The governor said he did not want this bill when it was first presented.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, from the beginning, he didn't want this.
So he says, you know what, I'll sign it, and then we'll neuter it after I sign it, and then I'll get all the credit. Look like I can still run NRA commercials and run around with somebody else's shotgun on my shoulder.
That's exactly right.
That he got from Walmart, I guess, or wherever. So anyway, but here's something to think about. I think at some point, the people of North Carolina, the people of Arkansas, they're going to have to start making a choice between sporting events, Hollywood stars, even corporations, and morality and basic rights.
Freedom.
And it's like, Charlie gets up there and says, we've greatly expanded the Second Amendment. You can't expand the Second Amendment. You can't improve on liberty.
Yeah.
You only can take it away.
Yeah.
You cannot expand on it.
Well, and the governor called it a Second Amendment privilege. He called it. That's when you knew this was all wrong. The NRA representative standing up there last week, and they're calling it a Second Amendment privilege, and you just kind of wondered, well, wow, that's interesting that you have the NRA representative up there listening to that, agreeing with this bill that we can all. I mean, it wasn't a good bill to begin with. That's what's so frustrating to me as a conservative is they created a second tier, a second class of concealed carry license to be able to go to colleges and universities. And even that bad bill where they're leasing our rights back to us because the license will expire every so many years with extra training, even that wasn't good enough. And what were we hearing? Oh, Asa just wants the training. Asa just wants the training. He wants the training. Well, no. You know what? If you got that 8 hours of training, you still can't go to a football game because we can't trust you in front of all those people. You still can't go to a hospital because, there may be mentally insane people there that might tackle you and steal your weapon. It's a complete and utter joke. And the NRA, and we may be talking with the NRA representative Anthony Roulette. He said he might come by, or, I invited him on. But to me, they have egg on their face because...
And I think rightfully so.
Yeah, they've got egg on their face. They worked with a guy who caved on religious freedom. They work with a Republican who caves on religious freedom. He caves on spending too much money. He doesn't want to do real tax reform. He wants more tax increases, health care, welfare, and that's the guy that you think is going to go to the mat with you when all the liberals on Twitter are going after you, telling you can't believe we want guns. You want our colleges to be less safe, and we don't have a governor willing to say, no, we want our colleges to be more safe. And... it's just, and also Charlie Collins, for example. I know Charlie, he's an extreme moderate. He always wants to come off his position. He does it in the name of getting things done. But in the meantime, the people of Arkansas have been deceived. And, Charlie could have just said, quit messing with my bill. Are we Republicans and are we pro-gun or are we not? That's what he should have said.
Well, all it is to me, is posing. It's posing like they're pro-Second Amendment. There shouldn't be, and again, I go off on a tangent, but there shouldn't even be, conceal and carry licensing fees. And so we feel like we're being given a privilege that we can take a gun that we already have the right to do anyway.
Yeah.
So the state takes a privilege, gives us back the privilege, and then once they give it back to us, it's kind of like Obama. I thought they would thank me.
Yeah.
But before we can thank you for giving us back our privilege, you take a few more of the parts of that privilege away. Right, not privilege now. The governor's got me saying privilege. Taking
the Bill of Privileges.
The Bill of Privileges back, and we're supposed to be grateful.
Yeah.
You know.
We're going to take a break. We're with former State Representative Donnie Copeland. The privilege of free speech will continue when we come back. All right, folks, welcome back from the Marble Palace. If you're just joining us, and if you are a Second Amendment supporter, I would just like to apologize to you. I don't mean to deliver bad news, but, politicians are out there to try to take credit for things that you agree with, and they want to hide the things that they do that you disagree with. And that's why we're going to tell you that a bill to weaken the privileges or your rights that they gave back to you last week passed just now the House of Representatives and is now going to be signed by the governor. And again, it's very strange. And the bottom line is we can say whatever we want. Hey, Charlie Collins can say whatever he wants. Hey, that this is a good bill, that we still have a lot of these things intact. The bottom line is last week the NRA supported what the governor signed, and this week they're against it. That's the bottom line. Donnie, we have a little bit of time left. What do you think?
Well, the NRA got played. They just got played. And probably being the NRA, they don't get played a lot. But welcome to politics in Arkansas under Governor Asa Hutchinson, because this is a pattern. You go to UAMS, you have a big dog and pony show and say, we're going to end the private option.
Yep. And
you don't end it, you change the name of it. So it's a pattern.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It is a pattern. Folks, we do have a whole nother hour of the program coming your way next, and when we get back, we got to talk about the internet sales tax. It failed 3 times in the House Rev and Tax Committee, and finally passed this morning after the Democrats presumably made a deal. So the unconstitutional new internet sales tax on out-of-state sellers finally passed the Rev and Tax Committee. And we will talk about that when we come back. More from the Marble Palace with former State Representative Donnie Copeland. And we'll also be checking in with Mr. Josh Waters from Political Strategies. 870-275-9799. Send me a text message, 870-275-9799. Thanks for listening, Arkansas. Back in a minute.